Alright, so spiders are an old archetype that were never really used because they weren't very good, which is an insect-based archetype that revolves around putting your opponent's monsters in defense position. That way you can activate their effects. It never really did very great, and the effects that you could actually use on your opponent when they're in defense position aren't the best in the world. Besides a couple of them. So, Mother Spider, you need to only have insect-type monsters in your graveyard, and then you can send two of your opponent's defense position monsters to the graveyard to special summon her. So it allows you to clear out your opponent's field, which just sounds good in theory, but it's kind of hard to get two defense position monsters on your opponent's side of the field. That's where XYZ Encore comes in. This is basically a one-card Mother Spider, which is neat, I guess, but then again, you're using a card. I don't know, it's really good for getting rid of XYZ monsters that are normally, like, indestructible. And then there's Informer Spider, who, if he's destroyed by a card effect, you can take control of a defense position monster your opponent controls. Just such a... Its effect is good. The activation requirement is kind of annoying. Almost useless, because it's really hard to get off. You have to destroy your own card, basically, in order to steal one of your opponent's monsters. That's why I'm running Limit Reverse, because I can special summon it from the graveyard, and then just put it into defense position, which will destroy it, and then I can steal one of my opponent's monsters. That's why I'm running this over Call of the Haunted. And then Spidey Spider is actually pretty good. He just destroys a monster by battle. You can special summon a level 4 lower insect-type monster from your graveyard. So stuff like Traptrix Marmallow, or, your other spiders. Luckily, the spiders are all level 4. Which is great. That means you can run a level 4 engine. Okay, so the reason I'm going back to spiders right now is because there was a couple of new cards released that make it a little bit more viable than it was in the past, where it wasn't at all. This card right here, number 70, Malevolent Sin. I was reading its other name. And the digital bugs. The digital bugs surprisingly have effects which synergize with your opponent's monsters being in defense position for some reason. And before then, you could only really use them in a digibug deck. But very recently, Malevolent Sin was released, and I'm fumbling over my words today, who is just a generic rank 4 monster who happens to be insect type. Which allows you to rank up on Digibugs. Core Bug right here, his effects synergize so well with the deck, it's surprising he's not a spider. His first effect is obviously you can just detach 2 monsters from a level rank 3 or rank 4 insect-type monster to rank them up. His other effect is if your opponent controls a defense position monster, you can detach an XYZ material to return it to the deck, which is a great effect. And his third effect is if your opponent's monsters are changed to defense position outside of the battle phase, you can attach an insect-type monster from your graveyard to him as an XYZ material. Which is great because his entire deck is about turning my opponent's monster to defense position. Stuff like Forgetfulness and Curse of Anubis and stuff like that. So he fits so well with the deck, it's kind of crazy. So does the other upgraded version, and Deadly Sin doesn't really synergize too well with the deck, but he is a good card in his own, too. 2400 attack is not half bad. If he destroys a monster by battle, he can increase his attack by 300 and his rank. So if you do that twice, you can actually rank him up into Pain Gainer. Also, his activated effect, you can just detach an XYZ material and banish a monster until your opponent's next standby phase, or something like that, which is a good effect. It's nice removal. It's not permanent removal, but it is good removal nonetheless, if you're going to go for like the push for an OTK. So it's all thanks to Malevolent Sin that this deck is better than it was in the past, but still not very good, mainly because you can use it to rank up into Core Bag. Corbage? Corbag? I don't know how to read that. Whatever. This intro's long enough.